Hey, what's up, everybody? I felt like after I did the reaction for the Saga Frontier remaster coming out middle to end of next year, I was thinking during the video as I was watching the video, and I was like, man, what is Square Enix doing? I'm excited about Saga Frontier. It's a great game. I can't wait to play it again remastered. And there's a bunch of Square Enix remasters I want to get to, and that is the point of this video, right? I hope that with all the remasters and all the remakes and everything that Square Enix is doing, they are testing the waters for Chrono Trigger. They have got to know that Chrono Trigger is one of the most celebrated, one of the most beloved games of all time. And they have to know that they are printing money if they do a remaster or a remake of this game. Now, I don't want to sound ungrateful. I really don't. I don't want to sound ungrateful. I am happy with what they've given us and all the great games they've given us. And I'm not a complainer. You all know I'm not like a whiner when I get on here. If I have to vent about something, I'll vent about it. This is one of the things I kind of want to vent about because they don't owe us anything. They don't have to tell us what their plans are. I am not entitled in that way. I know how business works. But it would be nice if every now and then they would just acknowledge Chrono Trigger. That's one of their legendary titles. Chrono Cross was amazing too, but people slept on that game. And I don't know why. I bought that day one when it came out. Had a great time with it. I've ran through that game so many times. It's such a fun, amazing way to spend 35 or 40 hours. Now, Chrono Trigger has a built-in fan base. A built-in... Let me speak Square Enix's language here. It's a built-in sales base. You have built-in debit cards ready to, credit cards ready to pay, PayPal accounts ready to pay for this thing. We're ready. We're ready. They have released, next year when they release Saga Frontier, they will have released like 13 or 14 different remasters or remakes in the last 5 years. In the last 5 years. Let's do the list real quick. I've got a list. I made a list right here. Final Fantasy X 10-2 HD Remaster, 2015. Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age and Romancing Saga 2, both remasters, both 2017. I don't know if they took the year off of 2016, but I'm just not remembering something from 2016. 2018, The Last Remnant, which is excellent. Star Ocean: The Last Hope and Secret of Mana Remake. All three 2018, right? And these are big titles. These are big titles for them, and they remade them. Okay, now we get to 2019. Romancing Saga 3, Final Fantasy 8, Star Ocean First Departure R. All three of those are remasters. Star Ocean First Departure R is a remaster of the remake for PSP from 2007. 2020. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, Final Fantasy VII Remake, of course, Trials of Mana, and that's not even counting the various Kingdom Hearts remasters and stuff that they've done over the years, the bundled collections, the remasters for PS3 and then PS4. I'm sure there'll be a remaster package for PS5, and then you cap it off next year with Saga Frontier Remastered. So, I mean, you've got all these games you've remade, remastered, and you've not even talked about one of your most popular, most successful, most beloved games of all time, Chrono Trigger. The announcement's got to be coming in 2021, right? I'm not crazy about this. Let me know if you all agree with me in the comments. This announcement has to be coming this year. They have to be working on this. With that list of remasters and remakes they did, whatever division it is that handles the remakes and remasters, this at least has to be in the pipeline. Now, I get that they would want to take their time with it and really be careful with it. You don't want to reinvent the wheel on this, right? I was a fan of the ending of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and there are a lot of people that weren't, and I understand why you weren't. I'm with you. I get it. I understand. You know, this doesn't need anything like that. You can do some bonus missions, traveling back to the different times and stuff. Maybe even add like a new era or something like that you could travel to in a remaster. but you don't have to reinvent the wheel. The story is perfect. Each character's story is fantastic, especially Magus. Y'all watch me play through on Twitch on Chrono Trigger. You know, me and Magus, that's my dude. Magus is my dude. I don't know where I've got. Here he is. Right here. Right here. This is my dude right here. This is my dude. This is my dude. He stays on my studio/gaming desk. Anyway, his story is incredible. Get to it. We need to hear something in 2021 that this is happening. I am more interested, and maybe it's because we haven't heard anything, and maybe it's because we don't know anything, but the people I talked to when shows were open, I would do comic conventions and sell art and books and stuff, and we would talk old school games. The number one game everybody wants a remaster for that I talked to, that everybody wants a remake for that I talked to, Chrono Trigger. And that's not even all the games they could remake or remaster. If I look at this list right here, okay, I look at all the games they remade and remastered, I can think of 3 other games besides Chrono Trigger that would probably, well, 2 other games, and one of them is just one that I love and I've talked to you all about. Final Fantasy Tactics, Xenogears, Final Fantasy VI. End of discussion. End of discussion. If you're going to keep remastering and remaking games or whatever, the next 4 on your list should be Final Fantasy Tactics, Xenogears, Final Fantasy VI, and at the top of that list is Chrono Trigger. I don't hear nothing else about it. I don't run the show at Square Enix. And again, I'm not entitled. You know, I know that I'm just a voice out there in the ocean of voices on YouTube. I get it. But for those of you all that do value my opinion, you all know I tell it like it is. And a lot of you all have talked to me about this in streams and comments and DMs, everything. You know, what's Square Enix doing? Why haven't we seen anything for a Chrono Trigger remake? You know what? Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea. I'm just a dude out here commenting on what he sees, and I don't understand it. My only hope is maybe they've been working on one. Maybe 2021's the year we hear about it. Maybe they were going to drop it this year. Maybe they're planning to drop it next. I mean, I don't know. What do you all think about it, though? I am to a point now where I've seen all these other games. I saw when I saw the trailer for Saga Frontier Remaster, I was excited about it. When I saw last year, at the end of last year, they were doing Star Ocean First Departure R again. I was like, okay, maybe we'll hear something about Chrono Trigger in 2020. We never did. And now here I am at the end of 2020 saying maybe we'll hear something about Chrono Trigger in 2021. And the running joke, and you all that follow me and hang out with me and we do the shows and we do the big things, every E3, every Game Awards, what do I say on my predictions? I always throw it in there. Chrono Trigger remake or remaster. It's almost a running joke at this point, right? I'm almost a meme when it comes to that. But Chrono Trigger remake or remaster. At some point, Square Enix has got to do it. I don't see why they wouldn't. I've been streaming Dragon Quest XI. Everybody keeps saying, this is what a Chrono Trigger remake could look like. And you're right. It absolutely could. And I look at all these other games they're remastering. I'm like, man, just the original assets for Chrono Trigger, the sprites, everything, you could just slightly update those and you could release that game right now and you sell it for $40-50 and you're printing money. That's it. I would love to be able to play Chrono Trigger off of my PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 when I get one. I don't have one yet. I would love to be able to boot up my PS4, play Chrono Trigger, instead of having to emulate it or hook up my old PS1 in some weird way and play the bad version that takes forever to load. You know, give us a slick remaster. A remake would be dope, but I don't want to wait 4 years for a friggin' Chrono Trigger remake. Give us a remaster, make it slick, make it smooth, put some added little missions or side quests or stuff in there, but it really doesn't need it. Update it, leave the music alone. You don't touch that music. Don't touch the music. Don't even think about touching that music. That score is perfect. That score is perfect. The artwork's amazing. They update maybe some added little animated cutscenes or something. You know, like they did with the PS1 version, but maybe give the characters some voices. Maybe add some voices, right? Maybe add some voices. Now, Chrono is one of those silent protagonists, but in this game, it's not as annoying as it usually is, right? It can be very annoying. It does get very annoying. Because I don't know. I want to see a full story. You know, I don't put myself in that role. I want to see a story play out. I want to know the character's story. It's not me. It's the character's story. It's like, I just got through bartending or waiting tables, and now I'm on an adventure. That would be his story if a silent protagonist was taking on my story. But what do you all think? I mean, am I crazy? Am I crazy and this just isn't happening? Or could we be getting an announcement this year? I mean, if you look at it, they announce a remake and remaster like 3 a year for the past 3 years. We've gotten at least 3. And I'm not even counting the collection of mana on Nintendo and the stuff they're just porting. They're porting a bunch of stuff. They have been porting Final Fantasy VII for years. I'm not counting ports. This is just remasters and remakes, right? Since 2018, they've done 3 every year. They've announced Saga Frontier Remastered for next year. If they're on pace, if they're on schedule, we've got 2 more coming. Unless I've missed some, and I could have missed some for next year, but I don't think I have. I think the only thing I've seen them announce is Saga Frontier. We've got 2 more. And they need to start giving us those classics. Final Fantasy Tactics, Xenogears, Final Fantasy VI, and Chrono Trigger needs to be at the top of that list. I swear. It's got to happen this year. 2021, right? 2021 is the year of promise, right? 2020, everybody just completely wrote off 2020. Like, we got some games and stuff that were already being developed, but like as far as like big news and new stuff and people actually doing something with their lives, we all just pretty much erased 2020, right? 2021 is the year of promise. We got to get Chrono Trigger Remake, Remaster announced this year. By God, please, please, Square Enix, please. We are ready to just hand you money for this game, right? If they come out and say something like, if they come out at E3 and say, we're dropping the remake for Chrono Trigger as well, people are going to say, they're just a remake or a remaster company now. You know what? I don't give a shit. They remake Chrono Trigger, and they're doing Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is really a sequel. It's not a remake, it's a sequel. But that's something else for another day. This is about Chrono Trigger. We got Final Fantasy 16 coming. We got that Project Athia game coming from Square Enix. So they're busy. They're pumping out what are probably going to be some really hot titles. God, I want Chrono Trigger. They have to address it this year. They got to address it this year. Every time I go on Twitch, there's a bunch of people streaming and a bunch of people watching Chrono Trigger. Square Enix has to know this. They have to know this. Right? Or am I just crazy? I don't think I'm crazy. I got it together pretty well. And I got a good head on my shoulders. And that good head on my shoulders tells me this is going to sell. Square Enix, you're printing money with this game. Do it. You don't have to really... If you remake it, of course, you're going to put like some orchestral arrangements of the score or whatever in there with some guitar and stuff, The Chrono Cross soundtrack is perfect. You do that style with the arrangements that are in Chrono Trigger, God bless. You would be... It'd be a wrap. That... I don't know, man. I don't know. I've said many times that Final Fantasy VII and Chrono Trigger are 1A, 1B with my favorite games ever made, right? We'll see. Anyway. Emergency community discussion tonight. I had to get that off my chest. Thank you all for checking it out. Let me know what you all think in the comments. Let's have a conversation in the comments. I want to know what you all think. I want to get a conversation started. I want to get something rolling. Let's start a movement. Let's get Square Enix to see us. You know what I mean? The Chrono Trigger Nation. The Chrono Nation. That's what I'm talking about. All like-minded individuals pushing for one goal. Remake or remaster of Chrono Trigger. Anyway, Y'all have a great night. Keep rocking. I will see you all in the next video. And until then, you all be good to each other. Stay safe out there. And you'll be seeing me soon.